there were people that went to multiple days and saw us on stage like it's Andre's birthday today, and people were definitely catching on to it. Like, how many fucking birthdays does this dude have?
Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. This is another episode of the Scoped Exposure podcast. I've had the pleasure of making tons of friends throughout hardcore, whether it's locally or through this podcast or playing in the different bands that I do. And all the time, I get hit up about people who want to come on the podcast to talk about stuff. And, you know, as much as I would love to say yes to every single thing, I'm still trying to keep this show something that, you know, the curation is something that I'm thinking about all the time and making sure that I'm not just having someone to just shamelessly plug their shit, you know, despite being a friend or not. But someone that I've been able to meet and have on the podcast before once already, who I think definitely warrants a return episode, a return interview, because there's been so much that's happened since that initial conversation almost 2 years ago at this point, and honestly has been someone who's like not only inspired me, but like someone that I truly value their friendship, and it's just a dope ass dude. So you know him, you love him, the hardcore Liam Gallagher doppelganger, Curt from Living in Fear. Thank you for joining me today, my friend.
Yo, dude, what a beautiful intro. That was wonderful.
Very sentimental, but I mean it.
Yeah, that
That's,
was
you
great.
know, no fronting here.
That's
So
legendary.
yeah, so like before we hit record, Curt and I were just talking about the very first time you know, we did a Living in Fear podcast was like almost 2 years ago, and this is pre like Endgame Living in Fear split. This is pre a lot of the releases, and you know, as far as like the reason of doing this episode now is because Living in Fear has some new music that's dropping on Edgewood February 3rd.
Yep.
Yep. So obviously we're going to talk about that. But dude, it's a pleasure to see you, because the last time I saw you was at Act Like You Know Fest.
Yeah, dude. What a weekend that was. That was fun.
Very legendary shit, and you know, definitely going to break down some of those things later in the chat. But as you know, we have to check some bevs before getting into any
Oh, of course.
music discussion. So I don't know if you want to disclose the time as far as the bev check. I'll leave that up to you, but tell me what you got going.
Dude, of course. You already know me. It's the Twisted Tea half and half.
The half and half. Okay.
The half and half, man. It's the best flavor. It's got the lemon, the bite to it, you know? That's what you need, especially at 12 in the afternoon at noon. The perfect time.
So I'm a Twisted Tea noob. I think I might have only had it once or twice. So the half and half is half lemon, half
tea, I guess.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah,
if
it's
it's
like an
half
Arnold
alcohol,
Palmer,
this
but with
podcast
booze in
will
it.
be off to a rocky start. It's like, how could you legally sell that?
I don't know how they do it, but it's wonderful. I think what set Twisted Tea off, if you remember, it was that video of the dude in the gas station, and he was yelling, having a fight with some other dude. And I think he said like some racial shit or whatever. And the dude had the Twisted Tea and was about to smack him with it.
I thought this was a
"Smack
Twisted
me."
Tea commercial, but I do know this
No,
video.
dude, it was
Yes,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
viral video.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
think that's what like really set it off. And ever since then, I've been seeing so much Twisted Tea that I was like, man, I got to hop on board. And then I learned that it's fucking delicious.
So, like, I do agree that, you know, cultural viral videos that are like world star-esque, that have that like ridiculousness to it, is definitely has an impact on, you know, exposing more people to it and people buy it up. My question is always, there is definitely a corporate office for Twisted Tea where there's a marketing department, or there's people who are sitting down and they're like discussing, do we lean into this? Do we avoid it? Do we like, you know? And I'm sure there's some young people that are like, yo, we should double down on this and make a fucking Twisted Tea shirt with the guy getting clobbered, but like, I'm sure investors are probably not going to be stoked if that were to happen.
No, dude, that sounds like a Living in Fear shirt waiting to happen.
Dude, I am here for the Living in Fear Twisted Tea World Star collab shirt. That's a move.
That needs to be a thing. That'll be fire.
Definitely needs to be a thing. So so Curt, like, we talked a lot about like the origin of like your heavy music journey and all those things on the first episode. So I always, following a second interview or follow-up interview, we do the bev check and then we do a vibe check. And we talked, there's a couple things that we've seen each other in the last number of months, I would say, but like, how are you doing and what's up?
Dude, I'm chilling. It's all still just living in fear brain constantly. So nothing's really changed. I just, I'm living in a different spot. I'm living with Andre now, so it's easier to collab. So that's kind of been the vibe for me, is just writing more music and getting more stuff done. And then working on tours and stuff.
Yeah, I love to hear that. My wonderful producer Jordan is frivolously typing in the notes, "What are you drinking, Spencer?" And that just goes to show how early we're doing this podcast, and the caffeine hasn't hit me. But I know that we're going to talk a lot about Oklahoma for Promcore and Act Like You Know, and something whenever I see this drink, and it is harder for me to get up here in Canada in the glass bottle, but every time I see it and every time I drink it, I think about that, because when I stayed with Aaron, he just had his fridge stocked the first time. So this goes out to Aaron. If you're listening, I'm gonna be drinking just a classic Topo Chico mineral water. Again, it's not there was a period in time, at least in Canada, where it was like they had like the plastic bottles, and I was just like, there's just something about drinking it out of a glass that's way, way better. So I'm
I've always known it to be a glass bottle bev.
A glass bottle bev, that's right.
Yeah.
It was fizzing up a little, and then I think I was like trying to not have it spill on my desk, and then my dog was like, "Woo!"
Dude, there was a coffee shop. There's a coffee shop in Atlanta. I can't remember the name of it, but I don't know if they still have it or if it even still exists. But I remember one time I got a Topo Chico that had like a shot of lavender and a shot of espresso in it.
Oh.
And it was one of the best things I'd ever had. And I was like, this is going to be gross, but I'm going to get it because, it's lavender and it's Topo Chico. Like, how bad can it really be? And it was so good. I couldn't believe it. And I haven't had it since, but I remember it was like a fucking $8 beverage. I was like, this is pricey.
Well, maybe
but it was good.
Yeah, maybe I could DIY that at home, because that does sound quite interesting.
Yeah.
So anyways, yeah, before we move any further, without conjuring any bad karma for the episode, cheers to you, my friend. Really excited to have you back on the show. Yes.
You already know.
Thank you, Jordan, for the bev save. So yeah, like, it seems like things for you, still doing lots of music stuff. We're going to get into the chats of the new Living in Fear music. But something that was funny was just, looking back at the first interview we did to now, I feel like there's a world of things that have happened in between. So like, obviously the first thing to talk about is like the combined forces split that both of our bands did together. I think we were trying to recall as far as like if we did the podcast when we were already in talks about it or that came after. I don't know if there's anything from your perspective that when you think back to that first time that we were chatting and how that started to come to be.
Yeah, I think it was straight up. Like, I think that like right after the podcast ended, like right after we finished it, but we were still chatting. We were like, hey, what's the chances of a split? Like, it could be cool. And then we were just like, yeah, we took it and ran with it. I was like, we can get 3 songs done and fucking give us 2 weeks and we'll have it done. Like, that's easy for us. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it was so funny. I think the funniest part in all of that was finding out that our area codes were 404 and 403. Yes. I was like, what are the fucking odds? Like, that is so crazy.
Yeah.
I thought that was fucking super interesting.
So yeah, I think I first got exposed to you guys through it was Wolfgang who saw you kind of on his way to LDB Fest, and then the minute I heard the riffs, I was like hooked. I was like, this is the band that we need to do stuff. And I think the podcast was like we were maybe warm to each other, but we didn't really like know each other yet. And that was the way to kind of like, I could go to the rest of the guys and be like, yo, these boys are the ones that we have to do something with. And it's funny because I think I've said this to you in person, but like when you sent the 3 songs for the split, because I think there's a not like an end game tardiness, but there's like sometimes like our music and like was taking a little longer than we'd like to put together. And obviously like COVID's still in the picture, so we're trying to figure out, recording in a safe way and blah blah blah. But when you sent your 3 songs, I was like a little nervous because I was like, these songs are so fucking good. So I felt like you set the bar so high, and I honestly didn't know if I had it in me to write songs that even were a mimic of that on the same quality level. So
You did though. I mean, goddamn.
I think we did okay, but and it's funny because none of the like, we talked about the 403 404 similarities. Both of our second songs on both sides had like an apostrophe in the song name. So there's all these like unsaid things that just made it to like really work natural. Like the entire record like flows super nicely. There's not like any weird stops and starts. So yeah, I'm really, that's like one of the pieces of art that I'm most proud of, like everything from the music to the art, and getting to do it with you guys was super special.
Dude, I agree entirely. That's like when people ask me if I play in, like I work at a music store, so people obviously ask me if I play in a band all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And when I tell them, like some people, I let them know, yeah, I sing in a fucking metal band. And when I tell them that, I'm like, yo, check out, we're on Spotify. It's, the record to listen to is Combined Forces. I'm like, the last 3 songs are us. The first 3 songs are our friends from Canada, but that's the material to listen to. Ignore the other stuff. Listen to this. And yeah, I think that's definitely like the most proud as far as like the music I've put out. That still is like the thing I like the most for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know that one of the new songs that will be on this upcoming release, Hellfire Reigns, you guys put that out as a single recently. And I think that we featured that on a Listen Up listening podcast series that Jack from What It Takes and I do together. And I think I brought up a point, but I wanted to ask you directly because I think on your first interview we talked about how Living in Fear originally was like you were the mastermind. You did everything, the drums, the production, the guitars. So like I know that that's changed over the years, and now you might be focusing on more things than everything and just being a one-man show. But is that what's the state for this next release? Is it like I'm still throwing in a couple riffs here and there, or is it all on the rest of the team to do that?
So here's the thing about this. The funny thing is this record that we're about to put out was written before the split ever came about.
Oh,
like this
okay.
This record predates the split that we did by about a year.
Wow.
So this whole record, with the exception of Level 6, because we wrote that for the split, but when I listened back to it, I was like, this is too good. I want to put it on a vinyl.
Yeah, that's a track that warrants a second release for sure.
Exactly. Yeah. So, but this record, the record we're about to put out, Fuck You Music, is very that whole record is me. And then guitar solos are always Andre because he's the only one that can, is capable of doing that in the band. So he does that. But this record is the last record that's all me.
Okay. So this is kind of
everything we have,
last. Okay. Yeah.
Everything we have going forward is like more. Andre's been helping write. Wayne's been getting groovy in here. Like we've been kind of trying to mesh well, like get together and get something going. Because
right.
I'm kind of sick of doing it all myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's been a lot of records, and it's just I'm running out of my own ideas, and things are starting to repeat. So I'm like, I need help from Andre so I can have something fresh to get back into it.
Yeah, that's definitely a challenge for people who are the main songwriter for a project, because that well can run dry pretty quickly, and sometimes you have to like delay releases if you're not being able to bring other perspectives and ideas. And at least like sometimes when I've been collaborating, writing with people, they'll bring an idea and I have an idea on their idea. So like I needed their source of inspiration to actually get inspired and think of an actual like great thing to add there. But when you're fully solo and you just have like a group of guys and gals who are like, I'm down to play, but like I don't have anything to write, or maybe I'm not skilled in that way, it can be taxing over time for sure.
Yeah, and Andre is just such a good guitarist that it's like I want him to be writing the songs. You know what I mean? And I've definitely find that like when Andre writes a song, it comes out way different than when I write a song. Like when you're listening, you can sometimes tell listening to a record like, oh, that had to be an Andre thing. That couldn't have been a Curt thing. And I found that like I write lyrics way better over songs that Andre writes versus the stuff that I do. Because when I write a song, I'm sticking to my cadences that I'm familiar with. But when Andre writes a song, a lot of the times I'm thrown with like left field riffs that don't match my cadences and stuff. So I've been having to change it up.
Oh, so you're almost like challenged a little bit more.
Exactly. And I kind of like that because I'm like, let's see, how crazy my fucking vocal flow and stuff can get before I'm just like, we can't play these songs live anymore. But yeah. I think, it's definitely, I like having Andre's influence a lot because he is too good of a shredder to not be writing music.
Yeah, fantastic guitarist. Shout out to him and happy birthday. Because that's definitely
he's gonna love that. He's gonna love that.
Is there any specific lore behind that? Because it was all Promcore 2021. Like every set he was playing, getting shut out.
Yeah, it was a thing because we fucking, our big thing was Haters Be Damned. So HBD was our thing. We had the HBD Collective and all that. And then Andre's username, I think still is hbd.andre. So it's just happy birthday, Andre. So everybody, there was a whole tour. And the funny thing was like, it was on multiple days. And there were people that went to multiple days and saw us on stage. Like, it's Andre's birthday today. And people were definitely catching on to it. Like, how many fucking birthdays does this dude have? It was so funny.
That is so funny.
It's one of my favorite stories.
I mean, if you're on tour and you're hitting up like the places that do like the birthday meals, like
dude, you're going to Applebee's? Oh, it's Andre's birthday, man.
Yeah, next town over. Guess what? It's Andre's birthday again. No, only today. That's so funny. But so, yeah, I think that's a really interesting point of like, getting used to a flow. Whether you're writing the riffs and then you're also writing the lyrics, but then kind of like, I think that as you evolve as a songwriter, you need to be put in those like unconventional or uncomfortable songwriting positions to like actually like push you and make you grow and like force you to think differently versus like, all right, time to do 6 more songs, and then it's kind of like the same old time and time again.
100%. And I tend to stick to a formula. I'm a big like, I don't know, because I listen to a lot of music that isn't hardcore, and a lot of like conventional, like commercial music is follows a formula. You got an intro into a verse, into a chorus, into a verse, into a chorus, blah, 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 into a guitar solo. And that's when I write, I almost always write to some sort of, formula like that. Mm-hmm. Whereas Andre, I'll listen to a song that he'll send me, and it's like a 4-minute song with like 20 something different riffs in it. And I'm like, dude, I never would have came up with something like that, but it's some fucking heat. So I want to keep it.
What do you think is your like most classic trope when it comes to like writing a riff or a lyrical cadence? Like, are there times where you write something and you're like, I've already done this like 7 times in other past songs?
Yeah, I tend to do the, what is it? The fucking Self-Destruct off the first record. I do the intro to that song all the time. And I'm like, damn it, this is already a song of ours. And there's a lot of things like within like when I'm writing, there's a certain scale that I stay in of like that in that E scale. And there's like a certain noodle riffing scale that I stay in. And it is so repetitive among so many of our songs, just because it's the only way I know how to make like the shredding noodly stuff sound good.
Right.
And now Andre's in there doing different versions of it, so it sounds a little better, and because it's different, it's not the same repetitive thing.
Yeah. It's funny. One of the biggest takeaways from our conversation last time was like, I think I asked you what makes a good riff, and your response was something I'm misquoting it a bit, but I think you said something to the degree of, it is so confident to like not do a lot of shit and just chug on that E and maybe throw in
yeah.
something else. And that has just stuck with me, like when I was writing like Devil in Disguise and this next release that that Endgame has coming out, like being super like being like unapologetically like, yeah, this is hardcore thrash music, and we're gonna like ride this for as long as we can. I think I brought that up when I had Blake from Power Trip and Fugitive on, and he was like, yeah, like, you know, it just keep it simple, because like that shit, like it works, and that's like a lot of his career. So it's
And
it's
that's always the band that I fucking, anytime somebody's like, there's a lot of chugging on the E, like at the guitar shop that I work at, I'll play somebody a riff. They're like, that's a lot of E work. And I'm like, well, yeah. Yeah, check out like Power Trip or Nuclear Assault or like any one of these bands, and they're all doing that heavy E chugging. Like it doesn't have to change a whole lot. It's just got to be something you can bob your head to. It's got to have that groove to it.
Yeah, and I don't know, I see that in other styles of hardcore or heavy music as well. Like sometimes when I see too much sliding, I'm like, I'm lost a little bit. Like it sounds dope, but like it's not where my brain goes, where I'm like, okay, I just want to give you a little and then give you the bass root note and go from there.
Same, hard agree.
What's like, so we've talked a little bit about like your classic tropes for writing music or writing the instrumentals. Do you have like any crutch lyrics or words that you're like, I need to I've said this too many times, or I need to go to dictionary.com or get a bunch of synonyms in mind?
Yeah, I think I don't know. I think I just need to chill out on the ad libs. I do a lot of ad libs. Like anytime something hit, like when I listen to Coward's Path, anytime there's like a cymbal hit into something like intense, I'm always on some or like doing that noise or whatever. And when I listen back to that record now, I'm like, God damn, I just couldn't shut up and like let the music speak for itself.
Sure.
So I think that's my biggest like Achilles heel for music, is I do way too much grunting and shit like that. So moving forward, I've tried to chill back on that and use like let the music kind of speak for itself.
Yeah. Sometimes like, I don't know, you do need like that like ooh or that or that bleh, like whatever the noise is to actually like make a part.
Tasteful.
Yes. Yeah, it needs to be tasteful. Absolutely. Yeah, it's I forget where I was going with that 100%, but I think that there are definitely certain things. Yeah, I'm blanked, honestly.
It's good. I'm also guilty of like I will reference other songs within different songs. So like there's a song we have coming up where I say, or there's another song on Fuck You Music, the new record, where I say The Coward's Path, or like I say Hellfire Rains in one of our new songs.
Yeah. Which I'm a fan of. I love that, like, connecting.
I love shit like that. There's a song where I say Fall to the Flames and it's not Fall to the Flames. So like shit like that I think is awesome. Just like calling it back to something from like a previous record or earlier in the record, just showing like some continuity later in a record is always cool.
Yeah, I love to be able to like and it also introduces new ideas for that. Like I think a really classic example is like Knock Loose's like first demo or their first EP, like their biggest song started out with "All my friends are so full of shit. They talk a lot, but they'll never fucking get it." And then like later on, it was like, maybe I'm the one who's so full of shit. And it was like this very start of the song as well. So like sometimes it's cool for them to play those songs back to back, and then you can have some correlation between. I did remember what I was going to say finally. So, and this was again in the midst of Combined Forces, and I think we were trying to figure out, okay, do we upload the whole thing on one of our band camps? Do we just do either side? And something that you said, which is tied to what we're talking about, is like, you're like, bro, do not ask for a lyric sheet from me for my music.
Yep.
And I was like, do you you must have notes, or you just like freestyling in the studio and you're like, I don't know exactly what I said.
No way. I don't freestyle. God damn. No, but yeah, I don't know. I thought that would be a funny bit to adapt, is just to like never put my fucking lyrics out there again. Like if you want to know the words, you just gotta know what I'm saying, dude. You just gotta feel it.
You just gotta
I had a
listen.
dude hit me up. I had a dude hit me up on Instagram the other day and go, "What are the lyrics for Good for Nothing?" And I was just like, "Man, I don't even got them on me." I'm just like, "Shit, dude, that shit's an
I
old
can
phone."
tell you that the title of that song is in it, but you can figure out the rest.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, just listen, bro. I'm
Yeah.
not that hard to understand.
Is is there anyone that like inspired you to do that you thought was cool, or you were just like, nah, like I think it's too much work to like write out all the shit that I'm saying and put it on the internet?
That's really what it was, man. I mean, like when I spent more time like on the Coward's Path lyric sheet than I did almost anything else for that record, just because like I had to make it look good. I had to somehow fit like font size that you can barely read with like spectacles on. Like you can barely read this shit. And I was just like, man, I say too much. Like
Mhm.
there's too many words in a 2.5 minute Living in Fear song for me to
Yes.
keep putting out all these lyrics. And a lot of the time it's just like, I don't think we're a lyric band. I don't think it's, I think it's really more about just like watching the energy and kind of catching the vibe of the music than it's so much as like these lyrics mean something to me.
Sure.
We're not really that kind of, they mean something to me, but I don't expect anybody else to really catch on that.
Yeah. It's
So,
you've seen those videos of I think it's Genius has like the lyrical breakdowns.
mhm.
It's like yours would be like a short documentary for like one song.
Yeah, literally, it'd be like a fucking 36-minute video with
Right.
like 19 ads somewhere in
Yes, exactly.
it.
Make it like bank off of that one video. Yeah, I don't know. Like it is funny though, because sometimes we don't expect something that we write, whether it's like personal or not, for it to actually connect with someone. So that's always cool to see. But I also respect the doubling down of like, you figure it out if you really want to when it comes to what I'm saying.
It's just like, man, that's not the point. We don't have any other than like Good for Nothing. There's nothing else in my band that like really warrants like a pile on or like a
Sure.
crowd chant.
Which
You know what
Good
I
for
mean?
Nothing is your top song on Spotify as of
Oh,
the time
I
we're
think
recording
that's the
this right
best
now.
song I think Good for Nothing and Level 6 are our two best songs. And it's hilarious because I didn't write either of them. Those are Andre songs. Like, and then
Okay.
Hellfire Rains follows shortly after, and then that's my song.
Right.
But other than that, it's those are the two ones that I think stand the test of time better than any of them.
Yeah. Like I don't know. Like I would almost encourage you, guy. Like I do think Level 6, the way the opening, the vibe, like the whole thing is classic Living in Fear. But I liked how Good for Nothing followed that up with like almost like, okay, here's like a chorus, like, if you're not reading the lyrics, at least you know these words. So
Yeah,
I hope
true.
that you guys keep with being open to doing that in the future, because it clearly works.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think that the newer stuff that we're working on, like more recently, definitely has more vibes like that because Andre's doing more writing. So I'm getting a little freakier with the lyrics,
Hmm.
and we're getting a little freakier with the guitar work and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think it's definitely going to be moving forward. I'll become more join along.
hmm
Y'all take
So
some of that.
if anyone listening is like, oh, it's not unclear that there's um I don't think there's ever a time where two bands do a split together and then they're like, we're never speaking to each other one again. I think you create this like um this unbreakable bond as far as that. And I really loved how Aaron from Act Like You Know built us like back to back. I think there was talks for a little bit where Endgame, like we are gonna like maybe Endgame would play first, and then our last three songs would be the start of Combined Forces, and then literally like we'd swap insert and just make it a seamless set. But
Yeah.
I think I voted against that because I was like, people might need a break. People might need to like. They're like, what the fuck is what happened with this two band 45-minute set versus two 20-minute sets with a 15 in between or whatever. But when you think about that fest, because Act Like You like Living in Fear is a band that I think should play more and more fest, but I haven't seen, and you guys tour and play a lot of shows, but I haven't seen you guys do a lot of like fest placement. So like, how was that fest for you? Talk to me about your set and reminisce on anything that comes to mind.
Dude, I loved it, man. Like I think I agree. Like I want to be a fest band. Like I love playing fests. I love festival energy. I love being around hella different people. I like when a lot people are in the room when my band plays. So I like fest energy a lot, and I want to play more fests for real. It's just like I don't know, we don't get asked, but prom or act like was the shit. It was exactly like what I wanted it to be.
Mm-hmm.
There's meeting people from places I've never met, meeting people that I know on the internet but don't know in real life. It's always a cool thing to like meet someone in person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the set was awesome. I'm always like comfortable on stage, so it's never like an issue for me to play like a bigger crowd versus a smaller crowd, but it was definitely a sizable crowd for Living in Fear. At least we haven't played crowds that large in a minute. Usually it's just like local cities and stuff. But that's, I mean, that's what I'm trying to do. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's where I feel like I definitely feel the most accomplished as like a musician or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It gives me the most like instant gratification of like, yeah, I just fucking played a fest and there's so many people here. Like it definitely gives me I feel great about it.
Yeah.
So
And obviously, like, not to say that you could play a show that there's even more people there than maybe at a regional fest, but like it's I think fest energy, when it's like you're seeing so many people that you probably connected with over the internet and you finally see them in person, or you're seeing people that you haven't seen in a year. Like it's just like Act Like You Know specifically just had a very good vibe the entire way through. Saw a plethora of like great people. I think Wayne and I were like upstairs doing like the fucking like
shuffleboard.
the shuffleboard. Yeah, yeah. So like I don't know, like that's not on my like docket of things that I need to do with Wayne every year, but now it is because of
Exactly.
that thing. But yeah, like I think that there's something to be said for sure for bands who are like hitting the road and playing in other places versus only playing fests. But like I hope that you guys do more, because like clearly like your crowd response was crazy. Like I felt like you guys were just super tight. So I hope that happens more for you guys in the future.
I agree, man. And to touch back on that shuffleboard thing, I think Atlanta had that shuffleboard shit held down all Friday and all Saturday of that festival. I was meandering around like I like to wander when I'm out and there's a bunch of people. Like I like to wander around and shit.
Mhm.
Every fucking time I went upstairs, it was Atlanta at the shuffleboard table. Like
Yes.
everyone from Life of Pain, Strangle You, First Day Out, or Deal with It, all of them at the fucking shuffleboard thing the whole fucking weekend, dude. I was like, we were driving home from Sunday, and I was like, it's funny. I guess some other people will get to play shuffleboard now because we've been fucking hogging it the entire time we've been there.
Right.
But yeah,
I'm only
that
saying
shit was
this because
fun.
he's listening, but I did destroy Wayne at shuffleboard as well.
Smoked him, dude. That's
Smoked
how
him.
it goes.
Yeah.
Wayne's too fucking goofy. He's probably trashed at the point that y'all were playing that shit.
Yeah. But yeah, like I don't know, like seeing you guys, like I was like, I think I left just before level 6 kicked in because I needed to like go back and warm up, and
Yeah.
I was like, I think I was like playing along with it. I'm like, yo, this is so sick. And then obviously like, you know, Endgame takes the stage shortly after, and then you came up and did the Devil in Disguise like guest spot, which I just want to put on record, the Endgame set at Act Like You Know was so sick, but I felt like there was like, you know, I was trying to get like my samples up with your device, and we couldn't figure that out. All but one of the people I had asked to do a guest spot were either having some kind of friend emergency, sleeping in their van. like I won't name names, but there was like certain things I was like looking around. I'm like, well, so and so's not here, so I guess we're just gonna keep playing. But I think you coming up to like fill that spot, which again someone was supposed to but then didn't. It really like help heighten the vibes for me. So
Oh,
yeah.
dude, definitely. I think that was really funny because I was watching and I was like, who's gonna fucking do this guest spot? Like, I'm surprised that like we didn't chat about this earlier. And I saw nobody going up there, and I was like, well, he can't do this fucking shit. Like, I can't just let Wolf sing this part. So I fucking ran up there, and I was like, this will be the moment that like we get to fucking actually intermingle as
Right.
far as our bands go.
Yeah.
So like it was like, man, I can't let nothing happen. You know what I mean? We're only
Yes.
playing back to back.
Yeah.
It's only right if something happens. So
Yeah.
I had to fucking do that part.
Yeah, I'm blanking on who I actually even asked, but I think I went to them after and I was like, hey, Like, I didn't know that was happening. I just wanted to make sure that they didn't feel like, oh, I asked
Oh,
multiple
yeah, like I
people.
stole it from him.
Yeah, exactly. And then I think I can't remember, but it was like, oh, I didn't even realize it was happening. So I was like, oh, well, it's probably good that Curt came in, to kind of save the day. But a question that I had in relation to that, because obviously the Endgame Living in Fear connection was long overdue. One guest spot on a really early song of yours was with Ross from Ingrown.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever been able to do that live with him yet?
No, I think we played with Ingrown at the Doghouse at like a Drain gig that we played. I think it was like Drain, Ingrown, Zulu. There was another big band. I can't fucking remember who.
Maybe like Pain of Truth, because
it was Pain of Truth.
Yeah,
that sounds right. That sounds right. Yeah, that sounds right. Pain of Truth. The thing is that like we never learned that song Burn because it's like a minute and a half. We were like, there's no point in just taking up time in our set with such a short song. We might as well learn something, more in depth.
Sure.
But it's funny because I actually used that sample where he goes burn at the very end of it. I snipped that sample out of that song and put it into Hellfire Rains. So at some point in Hellfire Rains, yeah, I swear to God, at some point in Hellfire Rains, I go, I'm looking down at you now and you'll fucking burn. And you hear burn at the end of it, and it's fucking Ross, and it's literally a snippet from the same fucking sample that he did for us for the last record.
So
and I'm not too long ago, just like a snippet of it, of like me recording the fucking thing on Studio One. And he was like, I don't know what this is, but it sounds fucking banging. And I was like, it's the spot you did for us forever ago. He was like, no fucking way, dude. He was like, you just like recycled it. Like,
yeah, so I guess he's got an opportunity on one song to do like, because he does more on Burn, obviously.
Yeah, he does like a little,
or he could just come up and just say one word, like whatever he's feeling for the
if
next.
We ever rejoin, if we ever play a bill together again, he can run up there and just yell Burn one time.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh, I love Ingrown, obviously. But yeah, that's something I'm hoping to see one day, whether it's the first or the second.
Yeah, dude, Ross is sick, man. That what is the tour they just got announced with fucking opening up for Obituary?
Oh, dude,
for like a full month.
It's funny that that we're recording this like a few days after that, because I had learned through mutual friends that was happening, and I went up to Charlie, who was down with Rejecting Pact. I was like, hey, I know about the thing. And he looked at me kind of like, I don't know which thing, because I'm sure there's other things that I don't even know about, but I'm like, the massive life-changing tour thing, like, congrats, like, that's super sick. And he's like, dude, I don't even know what's happening with my life right now. Like, he was clearly like you look at that poster and you don't imagine to see a hardcore band like mixed in there, but there is, and there will be Ingrown on tour with Obituary, probably bringing all these new kids maybe to shows.
I think bringing new old people to shows.
Yes, yeah, maybe that's
who's really listening to Obituary now. It's the geezers, man.
Yeah, so there might be some more geezers, but maybe not kids per se. So I think
we're bringing out the old venue staff again. It's everybody that used to work at a venue. They're all gonna keep pulling up.
Yeah, and then they're gonna be at the DIY spot like, this would never have happened at the place I worked at 20 years ago, or whatever it is.
Exactly, dude.
Man, yeah. Shout out to Ingrown. That shit is bananas. So talk to me about this Fuck You Music, which I guess, like, I think you sent me the record, but I didn't know about the album name. So tell me about what's on the horizon, and what people can expect.
Yeah, so for this record, it's a very interesting record. It was like I said, I wrote this record like 3 years ago. And it was at a time where I was working with my two roommates, AJ and Adam. And what we worked this shift consecutively, like together, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. So 2 p.m. into the night, we were free. So what we would do is on our way home, we would grab fucking giant, like Four Locos, like whatever it was, and just get trashed and listen to nothing but like Project Pat, early 3-6 Mafia records, like just the most ridiculous Memphis shit that you can listen to. And I was like, I want to make this hardcore music. Like, I want to do what this is in a hardcore sense. So we wrote that whole record of them, just sitting behind me, listening to me fucking tear up the guitar and whatever. And they were like, yeah, this shit's fucking bonkers. And I was like sitting in my room. There's a bunch of like samples on this record. All of those samples I made like from scratch. So I'm sitting in there with like Trap Money sample kit, and shit like that, like on my desk, like little MIDI packs and shit.
Right.
And I'm like making all these samples, snipping songs from like acapella rap songs that I like found on YouTube of old like 90s rap tracks and throwing it all together and stuff. So it's definitely an interesting vibe as far as like a record goes. It's not just like traditional crossover, but the name of it is called Fuck You Music for Fuck You People, which is like a running thing we've had for a long time as far as like our merch goes.
Right.
It's been like probably since the second year of us being a band, we put out a shirt that says Fuck You Music for Fuck You People on the back. And it's kind of like Bad Brains did that record, that little 7-inch called Soul Music for Bad People or something. There was an old 80s hardcore comp that was called like Rat Music for Rat People or shit like that. It's a thing that I've seen a bunch.
Right.
Like it's just like a recurring thing. And I was like, how can we make this the most like ignorant and just fucking stupid version of it?
You had some fucks. That's
so yeah, I was just like, let's just make it Fuck You Music for Fuck You People. And that's just kind of how it came about. We had a completely different record cover for it that was just this like, we have a hoodie printed with it. It looks like our logo, like on that flag. I'm sure everybody has seen that logo before, but it looks like that. It's like a big chrome square with flames behind it that just says Fuck You Music for Fuck You People in the most illegible font. You have no idea what it says.
You're like, what's this hay bell on fire?
Yeah. Yeah, like
release?
You cannot tell what it says.
Right.
And when we sent it to the record, to Edgewood, when we sent it to them, they were like, I don't know about this artwork. How about y'all find somebody and we'll fucking do a better one. So I was like, all right, let's shoot for the fucking top. Let's hit up Six Slice, the dude that did World at War by Dead Heat and Welcome to the Nightmare by Section Hate. Like he did some fucking Post Malone artwork back in the day.
Oh, really?
Does crazy, yeah. Does like all these like
what did he do for
like
for
horror
Post?
fest. What'd you say?
What did he do for Post?
I think he did like all the Post merch for an early tour that he did or something.
Oh, okay.
I think I like, don't quote me on that because I could be completely wrong, but I know he had it in his bio, like have worked with Post Malone, Dead Heat, Section Hate. I was like, this is the fucking
Post
guy.
Malone, Dead Heat, like
yeah. I was like, if it's anybody that like,
points, but that's a giant joke.
Exactly. Like if there's anything for a fucking hardcore band that smokes weed and drinks as much as we do, it's this guy.
Right.
So, we hit him up and we're like, let's do a fucking, like, you want to do an album art? And he was like, what are you thinking? And I was like, I don't know, man. Here's the record. Like, you listen to it. Let me know what you're thinking. And he hits me back and goes, so I'm thinking like a gold satanic tank rolling through a city of burning dead bodies. And I was like, okay, dude, let's fucking go. I'm like, sure, man, do what you're going to fucking do. That's the most insane thing I could have possibly heard from anybody. And he sends back like rough drafts. And I'm like, this may be a little evil for us even.
Right.
Like the vibe of the album art is crazy.
Right.
So I think that will like catch some eyes and shit. People will look at that artwork and be like, let's see what this is all about.
Right.
It's gnarly, but yeah, I mean, it's a good record, man. We're it's been done for so long. We've been working with Edgewood for like a year and 6 months now. It's been like almost 2 years.
Yeah. That
we finally get the records in. They're finally ready to drop it. And it's going to come out next Friday.
Yeah. Well, as
by the time this is out, I think it'll be out.
Yeah. What did we say? Because it'll be the 3rd. Yeah. So we're going to drop it on the 31st. So yeah, this is when that episode is coming out. So this coming Friday is when you can check it out.
Hell yeah.
It is funny though, because I thought selfishly, or a little bit of bias here, but I thought selfishly that the Combined Forces artwork was the craziest thing that either of our bands would ever do, because it's like a Reaper on horseback with a devil, both wearing biker jackets with swords, fighting a combined monster of a Rancor, Doomsday, like Machamp from Pokemon, like all the crazy shit.
Fucking insane artwork.
Yeah. And I think I appreciate not only my band, but you guys as well, because I was like, let's just make it crazier and crazier and crazier.
Yeah,
and then it
let's
became
just be as crazy as possible.
Yeah. But like that, like that description for your guys' current stuff, I actually like, because I've listened to the record, but I actually didn't look at the artwork. So I'm gonna give you my raw reaction.
Dude, let me text it to you. I don't know if it's exact. I don't know if it's in that folder, but I have your text open. I can send it literally immediately.
This is Jordan. You can cut to just me. I guess. I don't know. I don't know what the best way is here. We're doing this shit on the fly, baby.
The live reaction to the Living in Fear album art.
Yes. I can attest that the music is dope and definitely some of your guys' best stuff.
Dude, I appreciate the hell out of that, man. I mean, it was, and that's the thing. Like, we may end up releasing 2 records this year because we have 7 songs done that are like in a studio file as a project, as a record, like seamless. You know what I'm saying? They already mesh well together.
Right.
I'm talking to a dude that works in my job that runs a studio. This shit is having a hard time sending.
Yeah, but I'm like, so the anticipation is so real for me right now.
It's a giant file. Let me see about sending the fucking
dude, you don't need to send me the size that you could put on a poster board. Like,
yeah, I didn't mean to do that. It was just the first one I had available.
It's like the 3 gigabyte PNG, and it's like
exactly. Yeah, my phone is like, what the fuck are you doing, dude?
Man, I'm sure for everyone, like no one, like all the audio listeners are like, I'm not gonna see it. I don't fucking.
They're care. Like, I don't care. Like I can't. Like, what the fuck
I'm in my car driving right now. Like,
check your Instagram. I just send it to your Instagram.
Whoa.
Dude, it's kind of gnarly, right? It's fucking
dude,
ignorant.
This is crazy.
It's ridiculous, dude.
Okay. This shoots our split artwork out of the fucking water. There's, man. What's the dude's Instagram? He needs a fucking plug for this.
Dude, it's
I'm not even joking. I'm like tearing up by how like messed up and beautiful this is.
His name's Hayden, dude. It's sick_slice.
Sick_slice. Dude, and everyone go fucking follow this freak because this shit is so
craziest artist. Like, just makes like the second you open his page, the first post on his page is like a crazy fucking skull getting all fucked up. Like, it's just insane.
Oh my gosh. I'm having an emotional response to sick artwork. Oh man. No, like that's very, very, very awesome. And I can't wait for people to hear the music on the 3rd. It like, what are your guys' plans? You know, like it sounds like there might be more music in the way. Like are you guys gonna hit the road right away with it, or you know, kind of wait for a little bit? Like what's on the calendar right now?
So right after prom corps, our drummer was like, I need some time off. Can't be doing this for a while. So we were like, hey man, we get it. Bye. And he's gone. So we got a new drummer in like January, this month. We've been working with him. He's got most of the songs down. He's got them ready. So we're ready to start booking again. Because by the time the gigs come around, we'll have practiced 2 or 3 times and we'll be ready. We'll be in action.
Right.
I want to do some tours. A record release is one of those things where I'm just like, man, if it happens, it does. If it doesn't, it is what it is.
Right.
We've never had one before. This is our 3rd record at this point. So I'm not stressing.
You could just do a record release for every single record.
Exactly. Yeah, we'll do a 3-day, Living in Fear weekend. It'll be a record release for all 3 of the records that didn't get them.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I want to play as many gigs as possible. Like, my favorite thing is playing shows. I like it more than writing. I like it more than recording, practicing. My favorite part is being out on the road, not having to worry about going to work in the morning. Like, I can get absolutely hammered tonight because I don't have anything to do until fucking 9 o'clock tomorrow.
Right.
Like, I can sleep all day in the van if I need to. It is what it is. Mm-hmm. So that's my biggest goal and plan. It's just to hit the road and do that. Mm-hmm. There is more music on the way. Probably within the next couple months, I'm going to spend down there at my boy Josiah's house tracking drums and tracking rhythm guitar. I'll have Andre come down, shred some leads. I'll sing on them. We'll get it mixed. My plan right now is like, I'm hoping like by the summer, we got a couple tracks right now that I think are just way too good to not throw in the set immediately. So I'm like, we'll play a few shows, hopefully get a couple weekenders or, you know, a couple weeks worth of touring in, just playing fuck you music and prior material.
Mhm.
And then I'm ready to get going with new stuff. Because like I said, this record is a couple of years old at this point, a few years old even. So I'm at this point, I've heard the record a million times. It's programmed in my brain. I'm ready to play this new shit.
Yeah.
So I think this will be the year that we end up releasing probably 13 songs in one
Wow.
year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It,
Like
this is
I
why
think
we
you and
got
I
second.
are wired the same way because, you know, there are certain things that I won't get into on like the end game releasing music side of things, but like that shit has been like in the hopper for a long ass time, and
Yeah.
there's some inclinings that like it might be finally coming out. It will be coming out this year, 1,000%. As far as which season, it will hopefully be in the earlier half versus the back half. But like Admission of Guilt, which is like the new band I started, was like I need to get some fucking shit out. Like I can't be sitting on this and not having this like creative um like roadblock. So that happened
Yeah.
really really quick. I think like and those songs specifically were kind of funny for me because I wrote them all in my head before I actually picked up the guitar. And like, I was like, okay, I know I want to have a song that's kind of like this, that has a part, like these kind of parts. And then I finally picked up the guitar and I like figured it out in an hour and then did all the drums and stuff. But like, now that we're trying to talk about as a band, we're writing things together. So that's exciting, as well as like a little daunting because you know I'm a bit of a control freak when it comes to the songwriting aspect. But yeah, I think it's when you are in a band that has a system in place, just like output music, like why not? And you know, I understand the grievance of like we're putting this out and we've had it recorded for years at this point, and it's like I just want to keep on moving to the next thing.
Dude, that is the thing that gives me like the biggest, like the most anxiety from music. The thing that, you know, it'll just kill my drive entirely. Like it will ruin everything about music for me, no matter what is on the horizon. If I'm sitting on material that's 3 years, like these past few months, not like with the gigs and stuff, but like right before that, before we started gigging super heavy last year, I was really having like a fucking moment where I was like, man, I got to figure out if I'm going to do this or not. Cause this, like, I'm so invested in this music, but I'm so sick of playing fucking Haters Be Damned. I'm so sick of playing Highway to Hell. Like, this shit is becoming not fun because these songs are ancient and
Mhm.
we have so much new material to play, but we have to wait. And it's like, we got to wait, we got to wait, we got to wait. These songs won't transfer well live until people hear them on a recording
Right.
because they're like, I mean, they're just like, it's not conventional. It's not one of those things that you can just listen to and be like, "Oh, this rocks." It's something that you have to hear everything and digest
Hmm.
before you're like, "Okay, this fucking slaps."
Right.
Because it's weird. It's experimental to some extent. And I think that now that we've got this record out and I've got the band on board with like, "Hey, this is going to be a 2 record year." Like we're hitting it hard this year because hey, I'm fucking 27 this year, man. So I'm kind of like, I don't have much time left. Like, I got to make this shit happen if we're going to make it happen. It's time to hit the road. It's time to like print merch. It's time to really figure this shit out for real. And
Yeah.
Andre's on board. Wayne's on board. I know Ethan's on board. My boy Avery, that I got playing drums nowadays, he's so on board with touring. He's just waiting.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking probably March will start back up as far as big gigs and touring goes. And
Yeah.
that'll be the fucking fair. But
Yeah.
this year, I'm trying to hit it heavy.
Yeah. Well, to give you some encouragement, because I'm 3 years older than you at this point, but like there is an aspect that's obviously it's way easier when you're younger to do all this touring stuff. But like sometimes it's a matter about like it happens when it happens, and when you have like when you feel that spark, like to really give it the gasoline to like start that fire, and the spread will begin, right? Um, but yeah, it's I'm thinking about when Matt from Citizen was on the show, and we were just talking about like you know that band's put out a lot of music, but he was saying
Oh,
it's
yeah.
almost demeaning when you like because you were saying I'm tired of playing these old songs, and the only way to be able to move past that is to put out enough good music that people are like, oh yeah, play this stuff. Like, don't worry about this stuff in the past. But he was talking about like sometimes they would put out stuff that people would hate. So they would be playing 3 new songs that, kind of whatever. And then they would play the summer, and it's like the room ignites. And he's like,
Yeah.
again, he was like, I'm super appreciative of that, but like as a creative, that's almost like it kind of like takes a kick at your soul to a degree.
Dude, for sure. And that's something that, I've been chatting with the boys recently. Like, I'm seeing Life of Pain do so well. I'm seeing Deal With It do so well. Strangle You's doing so well. And sometimes I start feeling like, damn, Living in Fear is just not doing good. Sometimes I get in my own head about that type of shit because I'm watching all these bands around me with my boys and shit do so much that I'm like, man, I feel like I got to do something to kick this shit into gear, because this is all I got. Like, I don't fill in for bands. I don't do that a whole lot. Living in Fear is my shit. And I've made it known to the friend group, like, I've got to focus on Living in Fear. I can't be recording bands. I can't be doing all of this because I'm too focused on this. Mm-hmm. So that's been a thing that I've been battling with recently when I think about that. And I'm like, man, we've released so much material that I start getting in my head and I'll think like, if people were going to care, they'd care by now. You know what I mean? If this shit was going to kick off, it would have kicked off by now. Mm. And then I think about stuff like that, where I'm like, man, some of these bands were a decade into the game before they even did a month-long tour or something.
Right.
So I definitely think that like I witnessed the instant gratification and the demo blowing up overnight type shit go on so much within our scene and stuff. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it can be a little like deprecating to what I got going on, because I'm like, man, I've been hitting this shit so hard for so long. But I think you're right. It's just one of those things that like when the time comes, it's going to come. And I think that giving up because you haven't gotten there yet is the worst course of like, that's the worst route you can take. Is I see so many people that start a band, put out a couple demos, didn't do well. They dead the band and start something new because they just want that overnight demo core blow up because that was such a good thing for so long. But I think that, I don't know, I think Living in Fear will be one of those kinds of bands because crossover bands don't really get that overnight blow up from what I've witnessed. It's not a thing really within crossover. And we're pretty tapped into that crossover market. I'm not interested in abandoning it or shifting too far from it. It's going to stay crossover forever. Mm-hmm. So I think it's just about waiting out the clock and keeping hitting it heavy. And that's all I plan on doing because I'm having a great time, man. I organize it. Like I set my life to the position I'm in. Right. So right now I live way out in the sticks. I'm like an hour from the city, like Atlanta. I'm way out in the suburbs, dude. Me and Andre live here, but our rent is so cheap because we're nowhere near the city that like I get to work at this guitar shop and just sell guitars all day. And then when I need to go on tour, I say, hey, I got to take a week off. And they're like, all right.
Sell the riff machines.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, like I do everything. I pay dirt cheap rent because I know I need to hit the road at any moment. I got to be ready for that opportunity when it comes.
Right.
And I think everybody in Living in Fear is at a point right now where they're like, yeah, our main thing is, either gig until we get that opportunity or take that opportunity, whether it's offered to us or not. We're just going to go play the gig.
Yeah. I think a really awesome quote that I heard recently was quitting just guarantees that it will never happen.
Facts.
And I'm a firm believer that every band, creative, or whatever is always one thing away from the potential of things exploding. Could you imagine Drain to like after, they put out like a few EPs, a little bit of traction locally? Do you think like if they're like, maybe we should hang it up and not write, what would have been California Curse, which totally changed the trajectory of that entire band?
Dude, which changed like the hardcore scene as an entirety.
Sure. Yeah.
Like, I mean, that fucking record took the world by storm. That shit was crazy. It was one of the big, like, it's hard these days to find, like, in my opinion, like Blind Justice was the last big summer hardcore band. This is like, you're riding in the car with the windows down. Like, it's 95 degrees outside, bitch. Like, you're sweating, sticking to them leather seats. I'm putting on either Blind Justice or these days I'm going to put on Drain. Because it's just good, like, that's a summertime vibe kind of band. It's just a fun shit. And that's all I'm trying to do with Living in Fear. Is just fucking be fun.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be super deep. It's just show up, drink, party, have a good time.
Yeah.
Rock the gig.
And like, And like, you know, we brought up like Ingrown and Obituary, and like like not every band is going to reach the caliber of getting to tour with like one of those legendary ass acts.
Yeah.
But like if the goal is to play as many shows as possible, to play some dope fest, to like put out meaningful music and have it be on a label, or like if that's the highest, you know, clouds that you're trying to reach for, like I think that is very possible for most bands if they put the time, effort, and patience into being able to do that. And like being totally okay to not have your shit pop and being humbled, like this is not the shit that people want to listen to, and that's totally cool. Like if you like, there are some bands that like play in certain niches that like I absolutely love. I have shirts of them, and like I will have those forever, and I will talk and sing praises about that band forever. Those bands, you know, maybe were only around for 4 years or whatever, and they still you know, people still talk about them today. I think we get a little, it's very easy just to like, especially when it's like your friends and they're doing cool stuff, and it's like, man, like what like you get into your head of like, what am I doing wrong in the mix of that to not be getting the same thing.
Big time.
But yeah, dude, I don't know. It's I think when it comes to bands like doing stuff, there's a bit of like, we look at like, we almost like put the unicorn bands, the one that blow up from the get-go with the demo, on a pedestal. And I need to always remind myself, like, there are going to be those unicorn acts to a degree, but that is like, there's nothing wrong. And if anything, it's like the more classic way of being able to be a band that was around for at least 5 years and then popped, because they did all the touring and all the hard work leading up to that. So I don't know. I hope that's the case for Living in Fear, and it sounds like you've like kind of built out your life to at least give it the fighting chance it deserves, you know?
Yeah, definitely. And you know, that's a thing I've been big about from the beginning, is like doing it the authentic way and refusing to do anything like that's not the authentic way. Like, man, we got booked on a really big fest one time, opening for like Exodus. And I can't remember what other like big giant band was on it, but it was a big fest. Like Creeping Death was early on the bill, Rhythm of Fear was early on the bill,
wow,
we were early on the bill. Like it was one of those kind of things. Like it was
Sure.
like I know Exhumed, Exhorter, like so many giant fucking metal bands were on this bill, and they told us it was one of those things where like we showed up to the venue beforehand and got like little pre-sale tickets, and they were like, here's what you got to do to promote this festival, blah blah blah. And I literally like showed up, grabbed the tickets, and just went home. And they like were Facebook messaging me, emailing me like, hey, Living in Fear needs to create a Facebook page. I was like, I'm not doing that, dude. Like, I don't use Facebook like that.
Right.
They're like, well, we need it for the fest, blah blah blah. And I was like, well, kick us off the fest, man. I'm not doing that. And they left us on the fest. But it was funny because they listed like all like 80 bands that were playing this fest, and they were all blue text except because they were all
except you.
And then there was just right dead set in the middle, Living in Fear in black text. So it was like
because there's no hyperlink to you guys' Facebook.
There's nothing. So it was the only band that was like immediately visible on the fucking lineup. And I thought it was so funny. They made us start our set before doors opened at that gig.
What do you mean you're going to start your set before doors are open?
Dude, and it was so funny because I guess this dude that was booking it, like, we'll never fucking play that venue or that festival again, so I don't give a shit.
Right.
The dude that booked the venue was like, hey, y'all need to start at like 12:15. Like, it was an all-day kind of fest thing. It was like, y'all are the first band in the hell part of the masquerade, like, started 12:15. And I was like, 12:15? Bitch, doors don't open until 12:15. And so they were like telling us to start. And I'm like, there's nobody here. I'm not starting. They were like, you need to start. We're trying to get it rolling. So I'm like, where the fuck is the promoter? Like, where's the dude that booked this? And like, he's outside. So I run outside and I'm like, what the fuck is your issue? Why are you trying to get us to start before anybody's even in here? Like, what is the point of this? And he turns and just flips on me. He's like, I'm having a bad day. You don't know what it takes to book a fest like this. Do you want to play this gig or not? Go in there and start your set. And I was like, fuck you, bitch. And just turned around and like walked away. It was a whole fucking event where I was just like, I don't give a fuck, bro. Like, I don't want to do this anyway. Like, if I can't play to anybody, I don't want to play. So we get up there and just stand there until we see a big crowd start walking in. And it's like, you're not going to tell us we can't play. We have to play before doors. So then we start the set. It was just a whole event.
Wow.
But it's one of those things where it's just like, man, I'm not interested in like the performative nonsense. You'll never catch Living in Fear on a TikTok account. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, I'm not into that kind of stuff. I'd rather not make it and do it the right way than make it big and be corny as fuck the whole time. I don't like that vibe. It's not for me.
Yeah. No, I think that's you beautifully said, because I think there were a lot of people, and it's one thing, like everyone can talk shit and judge someone, but I think I'm the same way, where it's like, I know that I could start a project for every single like popular heavy music subgenre and find a way to like craft a good record, formulate like, okay, this is the lineup and this is how much we're going to do and this is how we're going to do it. But that is a little like soul sucking, not to just like, I'm only going to like do the shit that I want to, whether that's one band or I'm going to play in 7 bands. They're all going to be like really weird niches and projects. And if people want to get a little bit fancier and get a fucking TikTok account, like there's not something to be said or something bad to come of that. But if you're only doing that in like the, I need to make it happen for, my musical endeavors, it sounds corny as fuck, but it's about the journey, not the destination. Because like every
100%.
time you get to wherever you're trying to get to, you're like, okay, what's next? So like, I don't know. If anything, like all the shit that has popped for me, whether it's Endgame, Admission of Guilt, this podcast, whatever, it's always been like, I'm just trying to do it in an authentic DIY way, and then things start coming to me versus like, I'm gonna build the biggest fucking hardcore media outlet the world has ever, like, because at that point it's game over.
Yeah, I mean, these, it's the same thing. Bands putting out, merch pre-orders and stuff before they have any music out. Why do I want to wear your fucking shirt, bro? Like, because you have like a bunch of followers on Twitter. Like, I don't know what this band sounds like, bro. Like, it's like those are the kinds of things that I'm just like, man, y'all are off to a bad start. Like, it's unfortunate that a lot of the times these are the bands that end up doing it, that end up getting big gigs right out the gutter and stuff. But I'm like, man, I know that mentality can't last long, and it'll just be so much healthier to just be authentic, be yourself, do it the way you want to do it. If people like it, so be it. If they don't, it is what it is. But like, I'll tell you what, man, if you threw Living in Fear on Hellfest mid-section slot, you threw us on at fucking 7 p.m., everybody in that crowd would be vibing. I think everybody in that crowd would have a great time, whether they'd heard of us or not. I guarantee no one that attends Hellfest has ever heard of Living in Fear. Throw us on that stage, bro, and I promise we're like, people are gonna love it. People are gonna be like, this shit fucking rocks. Like, we can rock any stage anytime, and the confidence in that gives me more confidence than having a bunch of fucking Instagram followers and stuff like that. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for people that in a live environment, you play your music and people are like, this shit fucking slaps. I don't care if they're following me on the internet or not. I'm not doing shit on the internet anyway.
Yeah. It's almost like I don't want to play like the giant festivals where there's a barrier and there's a sea of people and I'm like playing my stuff, but like there's a little pit off. Like, I want to be like front and center with someone who's screaming the lyrics back in my face and like punching that person, next to them and going off and going crazy. So yeah. Again, I'm not trying to dog on anyone who's like, in a professional setting for their shit, but like this shit is not supposed to be popular out the get-go, and that's what made it interesting for a lot of people getting into it.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think that like, dude, in the long run, man, it's just every big hardcore entity that I know of did it the authentic way. There's like a bunch of, these bands that are getting big gigs and opening tours and stuff that did it the corny way and are like getting their minute. but those bands never last. And like, who are the bands that always stand the test of time? It's like, you got the fucking Young Brothers, you got fucking Criminal Instinct, you got, you know, like, I mean, it's like you pick the bands that you like and the shit that really stands the test of time, and it's always OGs. That's just how it seems to go.
And all those OGs played in bad bands that didn't get any love at the time. Yeah.
And that's the thing, dude. I've played in a plethora of bad bands. I think this is probably the only good band I've ever been in. Everything else was
I don't think I've ever thought of it that way. Like, how many good bands, like, not how many bands have I played in, how many good bands? Like, honestly, how many good bands have I ever played in?
I've filled in for a lot of good bands, but I think as far as shit that has my name tied to it, it's Living in Fear. Pay to Come had its moment, but bro, that shit would not survive in today's time. Nobody would like that shit.
Yeah, man. Well, we're all doing the personal audit with all that.
Of course.
One of the last things I want to ask about the new record, and this kind of came up when, you know, after we were doing the split, I was asking you guys' next plans and things like that. And whether it was like, and I think we talked a little bit about Edgewood on our last conversation, but why was it important to have this release out on Edgewood as far as like what that record label means to you?
Yeah, I definitely think that Edgewood was like the first label that I kind of caught on to, because like, or like the first label that I caught on to that I was like, I like every one of these bands. Like every one of these bands are good. They're legit. They do it right. No one on this label is fucking lame. You know what I mean? Like, I like everything from Edgewood that I've seen has always been like super legit and cool. So, and it like, it low key, like, in my brain, I was like, Triple B, I'm not achieving that. You know, Closed Casket, I'm probably not achieving that. I don't know those dudes. And Edgewood was kind of the one where I was like, I could see my band on this label. Like, they had just come off the back of like Certain Death, I think was the last thing they released when I was like really getting into them. And, or maybe it was Ultra Dominance, I think was the last, like by Trail of Lies.
Oh, yeah.
Was the last thing they released that when I got into them and was like, this is the label I think I'd rather be on. And then, you know, so I had blown them up with Living in Fear shit since our demo, like since 2014 or whatever. Like I'd always been, or 2016, 2017. I'd been emailing them all of our music when I got it recorded, never released it. And they always hit us back like, hey, this is good, but we're not trying to release a single, or we're not trying to release, you know, 3 songs. Hit us up when you have like an LP or something.
Right.
And that always gave me like a drive, because I'd sent it out to some other labels and shit and didn't hear back from any of them. So I was like, well, this shit's going to flop. But Edgewood low key bit in a sense and was like, this shit's good. We'll tell you it's good. This just, we don't need it right now.
Right.
And I was like, hey, respect. I get it. That's, you know, that makes sense. But I, you know, progressively kept sending them everything, you know, like, check this out, check this out. Then finally I sent them fucking music and they were like, this shit's incredible. We love this. Let's put it out. They had us like go to Richmond to play, and we opened up for, I think, Naysayer, End It, Downfall, and us. I think that was the whole thing. So like I was already like scared. I was like, this is a weird gig for us. We're playing with like some right now.
With some great ass bands as well.
Dude, Naysayer. I was like, y'all want us to fucking open for Naysayer in Richmond, Virginia? Why? Why did you pick us, bro? That makes no sense to me. But we went and we played, and it was fun. And it was actually funny because that was the first night I met Craig, like the dude from Edgewood, the dude. And after that set, we had done a 4-day thing with End It. So it was our 4th gig, our last gig. And I woke up that morning with no voice. So I was bugging, dude. I was stressed. Got to the venue and like drank so much like hot tea with lemon in it. Barely got through the set, and then got so stoned that I couldn't speak anymore. And then had to have a conversation with Craig. And I was obliterated. And he knew, dude. Like it was such an awkward, weird conversation that I'm sure he was like, this dude's fucked up.
Yeah. Like, I'm regretting my choices here.
But I think he was like, I'm going to email this dude. I don't need to talk to this dude.
This guy's an email person, not a...
I can't remember what he asked me, but I remember he asked me something at one point. And I was just sitting there like, yeah, man. Like, so stoned. I had no idea what to say. And I looked at him and was like, dude, I'm so fucking high right now. I cannot My bad. He was like, you're good, dude. Go sit by the merch. And I just sat by the merch the rest of the night. We sold out of most of our merch that night and tracked it home. And then I didn't hear from them for like 3 months. So I was like, fuck, man, I butchered that shit. Like we showed up, I had no voice, and then I was fucking too stoned to talk to homie. And then I got an email later and they were like, hey, what's up with this record? And I was like, oh fuck, I gotta kick into gear.
Yeah,
They want
like,
to release the record. I need
I'm
to get
sobered up. I can finally respond to this. That's so funny.
exactly. Yeah. And I was like, I gotta get this shit done. I had to mix it all down and send it over.
Right. Man, that's so funny. But yeah, it's cool to be. I think everyone wants to be able to at least like. I think you should shoot for like the big dogs, like the triple Bs, like because again, like if you don't, it's guaranteed that they'll just never hear it.
I just don't even know how to get in contact with that motherfucker. He's so famous now. Like there's so many followers. I just assume if I were to send him anything of mine, it would just get buried in the fucking
in the
message requests.
Yeah.
You know what I
Message
mean?
request purgatory is what I use as terminology when I DM someone about the podcast and then I get a response 8 months later. So
Yeah. And that's the kind of thing. It's just like, man, I don't have 8 months to wait around. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm hitting a label up for a record, I have it done.
right.
So it's like I'm ready to get the ball rolling. I don't want to be underprepared approaching a label. That makes no fucking sense to me.
Oh,
That sounds ridiculous to
For
be like,
sure.
hey, we're thinking about writing a record. Do y'all want to do it? Let me write it and then we'll figure something out.
yeah. There's a local label here that Admission of Guilt is going to put our demo on, and apparently there was a band that was DMing them about them putting like, hey, we're a new band, we would like to be on your label, had no music, and was asking advice of what to use to record the music. And at that point it's like, bro, it's true, like, hit reset and try again in like 2 years. Like,
Yeah, for real. Buy a 2i2, a Focusrite. Buy you a Scarlett interface, and then
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah, but like that's just a classic, just showing your hand way too. You don't even have the cards have not even been dealt to you yet. Like,
Dude, literally, like you haven't even bought the deck yet.
right?
Dude. You're still,
You
like,
are not
the car
even
on the way to
in the
store.
casino.
You're not old enough. To
You
get
are
in the
not old
casino.
enough to get.
Yeah, you
into
got
the
you got
casino.
years to wait, dude. Like,
Right.
You're way ahead of the game, man.
Yeah, but it's funny that we're having this chat. I think his episode was gonna come out earlier, but it might be the one after this. But we had Lumpy on. Lumpy's been on to talk mainly about like the bands he's a part of. But the most recent chat we did was just Days and like that label and how it's evolved. And like, he like shot it straight. It's like most bands that are getting signed or getting a label deal of any kind, it wasn't the fucking PR email that they like blind carbon copy to every single record label person because they like acquired all the contacts. It's usually they're gonna hear something, they're like, is this band signed? No, I want to reach out, I want to put it out.
Yeah.
Or there's like a friend of a friend, like, hey, like, like it's I hate the whole like it's who you know kind of thing, but it at the end of the day it kind of is. It's about like,
Yeah.
and if anything, it's about like relationship building, because I know if Scoped Exposure started like a DIY label as a part of our like huge conglomerate of everything that we do, I know it would be like every day someone would be sending me something of like we don't even have that, and I still every day get messages of like, hey, can you listen to this and share it? And so it's like almost too quick to the fucking, well, it's like that's not what we do. So
Yeah.
sorry. But then the second is like you're just expecting out the get-go. So I would just encourage anyone who's like kind of a little bit newer to this, like you just need to like chill and like build connections and relationships with these people, and like that's going to be a better surefire way to be able to get even on something that's a little bit smaller or regional, whatever it is, like that is still miles ahead of what most bands in the heavy music space can ever get to do in their time as a band.
Yeah, 100%. And I really think, yeah, but at the same time, like with it's who you know. Hardcore is one of those scenes where like it's gotta be who you know. Because there's a lot of tourists coming in and out that door.
Mm-hmm.
And it only takes one bad move to let someone in. And as we've seen so many times there can be so many shitty people and people doing it for the wrong reasons. And sometimes I think like, that it's who you know mentality is a good thing sometimes because it definitely weeds out some fucking dummies.
Right.
I think that's something that is going to become, I think it may become more prevalent in the scene because it definitely seems to be taking a turn as far as these TikTok kids go.
Yeah, no, that's
I
an interesting take. I never thought about it that way because, I definitely don't want to dispel or discourage people from like starting bands and like trying to do stuff, but like it is so important to like practice that self-awareness and realize, especially if you're like fucking 17, 18, 19 years old, like just admitting that you know shit when it comes to like doing this shit and like
yeah,
really, educating yourself, asking questions and like like I honestly don't think there's anything wrong if there's someone within the scene, whether it's someone who like film shows or does a zine or like someone that is there's the undeniable people that are like knowledgeable about doing bands, doing
yeah,
like hardcore in a ethical and good way. I don't just go out on a limb here. I don't think there's anything wrong to be like, yo, I know that we've like never talked. I'm just trying to get like on the right path when it comes to discovering new music, starting a band. And I just like, can I ask a question about blah, blah, blah? And there's going to be people that if you send that message who probably are going to ignore it or whatever, because you're maybe catching them on a bad day or whatever. But I'm sure that there's some people, if they got a message like that and they were like, oh, I want to like, I want to do my part to at least like be a good, like foster some good energy and some good spirit to a newer kid versus like, oh, like fucking go to a show and get beat up and figure it out. Like,
nah, yeah, fuck that. No, I love being the old head in the room or like the OG that gets to like, talk to like the younger kids. And working at a music store, I get to do that a lot because I'll see
right.
kids come in fucking gate creeper shirts or, something like that. I can be like, oh, dude, sick, cool shirt. Like, I've seen that band a bunch of times. I've been seeing them for years. Like, I've known this band forever. Like, I've seen them so many times and shit like that.
I played with them.
Yeah, exactly. Like I saw a dude, like a younger kid come in an End It shirt the other day, and I was like, "Hey, man, I toured to that band. Like, those are my fucking boys. Like, I love every member of that band."
Right.
And they were like, "No fucking way." And I'm like, "Yo, follow me on Instagram. Like, come out to some gigs." So I got this dude named Jake that comes into my job all the time. Definitely a younger dude, and is trying to start a death metal band so bad, but he loves hardcore. So I think he wants to do more of a 200 stab wounds kind of thing, where it's like death metal that hardcore kids like.
Mm-hmm.
And he's always, asking me, he's like, I'm getting into these bands, man. And I'm like, yeah, man, that's good band this, good band that. Chill out on that band, man. That's not the band you want to You know what I mean? Like I love getting to like let people in on stuff and let them know and like tell them this is the way to do it,
Yeah.
because I hate seeing, because sometimes it'll be a good, like a decent band, but you see them doing everything wrong. And it's young kids, and you're like, dude, I feel bad because these dudes are in it for the right reason. Like they like all the right bands. They're cold as life heads, like they like the right shit. And it's weird that they like the right shit, but approach it so horribly.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, maybe, I don't know, man, go back and watch that New York hardcore documentary with, like fucking
Right.
Scam, Danny Diablo and all of them in it.
Mm-hmm.
Go watch some shit like that, or just like go listen to like those New York Hardcore Chronicles interviews that they did for so long.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Watch the old Criminal Instinct sets. If you're coming up in Atlanta, go watch that Fever record release. Watch that last Foundation gig.
Right.
Watch the shit that is like historical landmarks in Atlanta. Read the room, then come to a gig.
Right.
Don't just show up blindside to a gig, bro, because you're in Atlanta. You'll be a little fucking took by surprise sometimes. Depending on the bands that play, it gets fucking rowdy, man. If you got a Criminal Instinct in Atlanta,
it's gonna
let
be
that
criminal.
shit be. Yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be a serious offense at that gig, man.
Yeah.
It's the same thing like when Regulate comes here. It's just a fucking bloodbath every time. I remember the King 9 gig or the King 9 set at the fucking last Foundation show. People were fucking throwing trash cans and getting wild and shit. It's just like, to a newcomer, that's how these things, like I saw the other day, the fucking big thing about moshing and how it's like traumatizing or whatever that somebody was posting. And I'm just like, bro, Look at YouTube, bro. Like you can learn all of this through fucking YouTube and you don't have to come partake in this, but don't show up and then try to tell everybody to stop. Like this
Right.
shit's been going on since the early 80s, bro.
Hmm. Well,
It's
like it's interesting you bring that up because like there's a few people that just have a weird take about like any online content when it comes to hardcore is adding to the problem of this like wave of people that are just how they're discovering this. But I think that there's a huge difference than watching the New York hardcore documentary than seeing a turnstile clip that's 15 seconds and you're swiping to the next thing. Because when you're watching a documentary or listening to a 2-hour long podcast or you're doing something that actually like forces you to kind of like not just be brain dead, you're actually like paying attention and learning those things. Like,
dude, yeah, 100%. And I just watched that recent Hard Lore podcast, the one they put out. I think they just put it out yesterday. The Criminal Instinct one, Josiah and Caleb. Listening to that whole thing, and I'm like, bro, if these TikTok kids heard any part of this fucking podcast, they would run for the hills.
Right. But like respect to them, because I'm sure it's like, they're they might be like, oh, like they had Kat from Scowl on, or they had like Brendan from Counterparts. Like I feel like being able to like hit some of those things to like bring those people in. But like I'm sure there are people that are like, I have no fucking idea who Criminal Instinct is. But that could be a very important episode for their audience to be able to like kind of drill down the nitty gritty and get to some real shit.
Yeah, Criminal Instinct is one of those bands. If you want to know the legit, what it really is to be a fucking hardcore band in like 2009 era, like coming up like 2012 to like 2016 was like Criminal Instinct's big thing. But goddamn, like it's like what a track record of just crazy shit a band has done. And like I would do it a lot of people say Foundation is like the most legendary Atlanta band. For me, Criminal Instinct is the Atlanta band where when it comes to Atlanta hardcore and establishing what Atlanta hardcore should be and is about, Criminal Instinct's the band to listen to. Yeah. That band just reeks of Atlanta energy. So that's the kind of thing. And I think that's why podcasts low key are becoming a little more important in a hardcore scene, is to learn what hardcore really is as opposed to what you may see on TikTok.
Right.
Because when you come into that room, it's going to be a different vibe, man. It's not a bunch of dudes in banana costumes and hot dog outfits, fucking cartwheeling off a stage. That kid in the hot dog costume is going to have his jaw dislocated by the end of the night.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like it's definitely a bit of a different aspect.
Yeah.
And I think I'm seeing like I'm seeing like a revival in that recently of what I've like been seeing on Twitter and on Instagram. Seems like people are telling, these people to shut the fuck up more, as opposed to being like, oh yeah, let's adapt to this, comfortable world.
Right.
Hardcore's not supposed to be a comfortable world, man. There should always be some sort of stakes. You know what I mean?
Totally. Yeah. Like if nothing else in my life where I enter a room and the first note begins, or it's not even the first note, it's the fucking guitar feedback or whatever it is. Like there's like that's the only like he's right fucking here. My favorite superhero of all time is Spider-Man. And like that's the only time where I actually feel like I have the spider senses start to tingle, because I have to be like aware when fucking big dude from Apex Predator is about to stage dive on me, and it's like, okay, I either gotta catch this or jump on the stage and also go stage dive, like that shit is like
primal, dude. It's fucking primal.
Yeah, like for the take of it's traumatizing is so unbelievably soft.
It's so lame.
It's so yes. And it's like, if anything, that's just an exposure to maybe that there's deeper rooted issues and you're just pointing the finger at hardcore as like you're using it as a scapegoat, versus like, hey, maybe I just need to figure some shit out outside of a community. And that's totally cool too. But like, don't use like this thing that you just got into as like your reasoning for not admitting that, I don't know, you need work. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. No, and that's a big thing, man. I don't know, man. It's just like hardcore is taking such a weird turn. And it's just like sometimes it's so hard to say like what's gonna be frowned upon or what's gonna be looked at in light, and who's gonna have what opinion. But I think we're getting back to the point where it's like, hey man, this shit is supposed to be some fuck you shit. And
Right.
if you're not in it, man, then fuck you. Go away. And I like that kind of vibe way more. I just like, I don't know, man. And to say that moshing is fucking traumatizing, dude, go watch any one of those prom core videos. The mosh pit is 85% women in these videos, dude. It is so not traumatizing. Like, it is just not. Like, it is. Mosh pits can be such a welcoming environment, especially when you hit the right gigs and stuff. I mean, you go to like a fucking, I'm trying to think of like a real scary band. What was that band that played Act Like You Know, where the dude busted his head on the fucking speaker?
Oh, Snuffed on Sight?
Dude, you go to a fucking Snuffed on Sight gig and you're going to get a completely different reaction than when you go, to like, some, trying to think of a poppy band now. I can't think of a poppy hardcore band off the top of my head.
Anxious or something?
Yeah, or like, yeah, an Anxious gig, a One Step Closer gig.
Yeah.
Something like that kind of vibe. And it's like hardcore is such an umbrella. And it's like the world's biggest fucking umbrella, dead ass.
Mm-hmm.
There is so many things that fall into the fucking category of hardcore. Because if you're listening to Turnstile and then you go listen to Terror, like, why do these bands intersect at all?
Right, exactly. Exactly.
And that's the kind of thing where it creates something dangerous, man. You have all these young kids going out to a Scal show, and let's just say it's like a fest or something, and the Acacia Strain is also playing.
Right.
What the fuck, bro? Like, yeah, of course there's going to be some discourse at a gig like that because you have a bunch of you have two different crowds there, and that's I think we're getting back to where these crowds can mesh.
I think you're right, but I think it's just everything has pros and cons, right? I think there's a lot of good things to be able to have the Acacia Strain and Scala play a gig together. Obviously, there's going to be some negatives as far as there's going to be discourse. There's going to be some what's the word? It's like there's mosh pit mutiny to a degree as far as like I want a two-step, I want a crowd all that kind of shit. There's a tour that's coming up through Western Canada in May. I can't remember all the bands, but it's Black Dahlia Murder, Terror, Fuming Mouth, and then like some other metal bands. And every group chat I'm in is like, that pit is going to be so unbearable because it's going to be kids who are like, I'll pay the money to go see Terror, or I want to go see Fuming Mouth because they haven't played a show in a long ass time. But then it's going to be all the Black Dahlia kids who are like, what the fuck is this fighting ninja shit? And then on the same side, it's going to be like, what the fuck is with all these people just fucking doing a L'Oreal commercial and just swinging their hair around,
Dude, I think the prime band to like the poster child for discourse mosh pits, as far as like polarizing mosh pits, is Nails. I have never had more fucking trouble in a goddamn mosh pit coming up as a kid than a fucking Nails mosh pit, bro. That is the most polarizing band for fans to have fun at their gigs at. I can't even explain it, dude. Metalheads trying to headbang and fucking fist bump and, do all that. And then you get one kid trying to fucking swing his arms around and there's 9 metalheads on them. And then there's 18 hardcore kids that came out of nowhere. It's just like, dude, every time I've seen Nails at the Masquerade or something coming up as a kid, it's always been just some bullshit.
Shit. Here we go again. Yeah.
Get ready for some bullshit.
Yeah. And it's like, in the grand scheme of things, it's probably a good thing to be able to come to bring those worlds together and have an impact, and then there's spillover. Scott has said on this podcast as well as many others, like there's a lot of metal tours that Terror would do, and they like converted all these metalheads into being hardcore kids, into
hardcore kids.
Yeah, so like I think in the long run it is a good thing, but you can't deny that there's going to be some rubbing of rubber for sure when it comes to those kind of scenarios.
Yeah, man. There will always be that clash between like diehard metalheads and just hardcore kids.
Yeah.
I don't know if that bridge will ever gap completely. I think there will always be some discourse there as far as those two.
Yeah.
of people.
And going back to what we were saying, like, you know, with this new wave of kids, I think that there will be some years of, you know, new kids, but like, you know, having to weed out some weak ass motherfuckers. But like at the end of the day, I still am going to bet and believe that there will be people that, you know, their first hardcore experience is at a Turnstile show, and then in 5 years I'm having them on the podcast to talk about this huge band that they started, you know.
Oh yeah,
You know,
100%.
maybe they haven't even started it yet, you know? Like, I'm willing to play on all the bullshit in between to get to that point, because to me, that's way more cool than, like, trying just to have all my efforts to demean a certain generation because of how they're finding out about something.
Yeah. Progression is so much better than just, you know, gatekeeping and keeping it where it's at. Like, gatekeep to some extent, but don't take it too far, man.
Right.
Like, some of these kids are cool. Some of these kids are cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
and I maybe I think that way just because it's like I had that. It's like, oh, you got into this through like rise core bands. Like, oh, you're not a fucking hardcore kid. Oh, you found out about this through Hey 5 6. You're like, I've heard many things for myself and for other people, and I think hardcore is about being like, fuck you, I'm here to stay, and you like prove your worth and you show up, and then people are like, you know what, you came from pop punk and you used to, you know, sing about this and sing about pizza, but like, you know, you found your way. So
no, dude, it's always possible, man. I definitely know some kids that were just mad corny. I was mad corny back in the day. We've all been corny at one point.
Everyone.
You have to be there to get to where you're going to be. You know, you can't be cool without being corny first.
Totally agree.
So, I mean, you got to make that, you know, but that's the thing, bro. It's just all about how hard you want to prevail in the hardcore scene. Like, sometimes you'll take some fucking hits. Sometimes you'll get talked a lot of shit on, man. And it's just about, am I going to stay in this or do I want to get out? Totally. I'm going to stay every time, bro. I don't give a fuck. Say what you want to say. Kick my fucking ass. I'm going to show up later. I'm going to show back up with a drink in my hand. Like, what's going on, man?
Yeah. I'm going to show back up with that twisted tea coming for your throat.
Exactly, bro. Wait till this twisted tea finds your fucking noggin later.
Right.
You didn't even see it coming.
Total subject change here. You kind of had a bit of a viral moment, not for your band, but for you on stage for another band with a flamethrower, a makeshift flamethrower, a MacGyver flamethrower. Could you tell me about that?
Yeah, that's actually one of my favorite stories of last year, dude. That shit was so fucking funny. So I love Harrison, bro. Body Box is my boys. I'm not even Body Box because I don't really know any of the dudes. I think it's just Harrison and then different people every time they tour.
It's Harrison and the Body Boxes.
Exactly. Like, I'm pretty sure Harrison is Body Box. So I love Harrison to death, bro. He is such a fucking funny guy, and he's always down to just party, and he's always down to hang. So I will always, you know, I'm always down to hang out with him. And we showed up to that gig in Nashville. Me and Gage were drinking in the car the whole way there. So we showed up loud, get out of the car. We're there late. The first band's already like almost done with their set. We're after them. So we got to load onto the stage and get going, because that's just how Living in Fear operates. We're late all the time. And I show up, and Harrison's he fucking walks up and hands me a little Bic lighter and a fucking one of those hardcore spray paint cans.
Right.
It's got like the wide nozzle on it. He's like, you want to run pyro for double wide? And I'm like, shit. And I'm like, say less, man. Like, why not? And I get up there and just fucking let it rip, dude. And at one point, Harrison tries to blow it out. You can see in the video, I'm blowing the flamethrower, and he runs over and is like, and I'm like, this is a fucking flame. You're not blowing. This isn't a fucking Yankee candle, dude. So I'm sitting there blowing it off throughout the song. And then after that, the dude that booked the show, man, like, he was not happy with us. And I think it was one of those things where, like, I definitely made it a bigger thing than it needed to be with my apologies, because I was drunk and like felt really bad. I was like, dude, I'm so sorry. Like, if there's a bunch of problems and shit, like, I don't know, man, who do I need to talk to? And then he was like, it's no big deal, but I could tell he's fucking heated. He was like, it's nothing. You're making it a bigger deal than it needs to be. Just go away.
Just go away.
just go away, man. So we left, and, you know, I don't think Living in Fear will be welcomed back in Nashville anytime soon.
I think I've been told that venue will never do a hardcore show there again.
That's probably true. And, you know, that's the thing, man. It's like, going into it, I didn't know that, like, it's hard for Nashville to book hardcore shows anyway and shit like that. I just showed up and Harrison was like, "Hey, you want to do this?"
Hey,
And I was like,
I got put on pyro duty.
I was given a job to do by my boy, and when my boy asked me to do a job, I'm gonna do it for him.
Straight up.
So that's what went down there. And dude, I had a great time. I thought it was fucking awesome. It's still one of my favorite Living in Fear stories ever. I abuse that clip. I posted the lighter on eBay, bro. Pay me $150 for that bitch. Let's go.
What?
The lighter that I lit it with, I was fucking texting Harrison. I was like, bro, I'm gonna put this shit on eBay. Put it on eBay for like a starting bid, $150. Nobody fucking bid on it.
Oh, okay.
No, nobody fucking bought it. But we let it like ride, and it sat on there forever. Like this tobacco Twitter account that tweets like rare tobacco memorabilia. It's like a bot account or something. Tweeted it. I just thought that shit was so funny.
I would argue that venue probably has not had the level of exposure through any other, like, oh, here's a clip of this band playing on a Tuesday. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah. Dude, I don't even remember the name of that venue. Like, I don't even remember what it was called. I don't even remember what it looks like. I saw a picture from it the other day. Apparently there was like a crazy picture of like some woman with tits behind us on the stage. I saw the flicks from the gig and was like, what is this?
Right.
When was this? And they're like, that was Nashville. And I was like, oh, fuck. I didn't even know.
It's like, I get you're a business owner and you're trying to run or whatever, but like, if it were, that's the thing with hardcore, where it's like when someone gets it and people can act, like, it's not around anymore, but like Spinelli's, which was like the spot in Louisville to do a DIY show, and like everyone's like, oh, I want to play at the place that has the "Don't Mosh into the pizza oven" sign. Like people like see that shit online, and then that becomes the attractor to that city. It's like the same thing with all of like the church basement shows that Sonny would film in Philly. It's like, oh, I want to play on the fucking like alphabet like foamy floor. Like I want to play at Program. I want to play at like, like there's all these things that, but I'm sure that majority, like I can't even say majority, but I would say there are some of those examples that it is a hardcore person running that, so they understand. And then there are other people that have come to learn, oh, okay, this is not just this is not a gang fighting in my space. It's like, this is a community. This is how they dance. This is how I do this and that. There is a risk, but if anything, like if there's a longevity aspect, like I'm sure that they would be making more money than any other potential like damage or things like that. Like, I don't know. It's a very interesting topic. But
yeah, I agree.
I'm sure that guy's somewhere. He'll never hear this, A, but B, I'm sure he's somewhere thinking about that show. And maybe there's a time where he's like, maybe I should have chilled out a little bit more.
Yeah, maybe I should have rode that wave for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'd
be having him on the podcast, talking to him about it, but I guess not.
Dude, it's so easy to embrace chaos, and just like, sometimes a little chaos is cool. Like it's cool to have it for a minute. If nobody got hurt, like had I fucking burned somebody to a fucking corpse, at that gig, or had I burned the venue to the fucking ground, like take me to court, we'll figure it out. Like, of course I fucked up in that moment. Sure. But nobody got hurt, bro. It's no big deal. Like, read the room, man. Everybody was vibing. Everybody was having a good time. Everybody was like, "I tried to play guitar." I was like, yeah, dude, this is fucking hard.
Right.
But I also get it from like a professional standpoint of like, this is a massive liability.
Right.
Had someone gotten hurt, everybody would be in jail right now. Like, I get it. It's a thing, but I don't know, man. Sometimes it's like, look the other way. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody was there.
Sometimes it's actually worth it to roll the dice. But like,
dude, I'll roll the dice every time, man. Every time. I'm gonna choose rolling the dice over playing it safe every single time. Because I'd rather, I don't know, make it memorable, man. There's nothing memorable about playing it safe. You'll forget about that gig in a heartbeat.
Yep.
That was the moment that stuck out more than anything else in that tour. Was fucking blowing that flamethrower off, or otherwise people just murked each other.
Yeah. So one of the last things that we could talk about, Curt, and I mentioned this in the intro, but you love Oasis. You love Liam Gallagher.
Yeah.
Why?
Dude, it's a hard question, man. I don't know. There seems to be like a few different pipelines in the hardcore scene where dudes go, or like where they end up. And it's like in Atlanta, I see a lot of real estate agents and I see a lot of barbers.
Okay.
And those seem to be like two of like the major pipelines. But another like universal pipeline that I feel like I see in hardcore a lot is hardcore kid to Oasis fan.
Hmm.
I don't know what it is. I think it's something about Oasis was a very grimy band coming up in the early days. Like they did a lot of fighting, a lot of drugs, a lot of drinking, a lot of getting arrested. Like there was a lot of heat on that band.
Hmm.
So they, in a sense, I feel like they resonate with a lot of hardcore kids because it's like, yeah, some of their music's a little soft, but it's coming from dudes that are crazy. And it's coming from dudes that do crazy shit. Like there's a lot of wild ass Oasis stories of them just being motherfuckers for no reason, just doing it, the rock and roll way. And I don't know, man. I didn't get into the music first. I got into the personalities first because my homie Luke is an Oasis fan and I lived with him for like 5 years. And he'd always like try to get me to click onto the Oasis music and I'd listen and I'd be like, man, I don't know about this. Like it's a little soft. Like I'm not really feeling it. Because I was like 18, 19 at the time, 2021, those ages, I were like, I didn't want to hear anything soft. I wanted to hear that aggressiveness.
Right.
And then he sent me like a Liam like interview of him just being a total dick. And there was like a segment in it where he's like whooping on some paparazzi dude. Like he's got him over a car, jumping on him, he's hitting him, he's yelling at him, fucking creating a whole scene and shit. And I was like, dude, this dude rocks. I was like, this is awesome. This is the dude that sang Wonderwall, and he's out here beating up paparazzi. Like, I never thought that was what was to come from that.
Right.
Then I dove down the pipeline and like looked into like fucking Liam and Noel, saw all their interviews and shit, and was like, these dudes are legit. And then the music clicked. Because then I started watching the live shows, and there's all these segments of live shows where like Liam and Noel are on stage fighting each other and shit. And I'm like, this is crazy.
Right.
So I just got super into it. And then I was like, oh shit, okay, that's, I learned about Stone Island through them and learned about that whole brand's history of, how crazy people have been wearing Stone Island forever, and was like, I like this. I'm going to get involved with this. And I don't know, man, it took my brain way harder than I thought it would. And it's just been one of those things I just can't give it up. I'm like, this is just too cool.
Yeah.
There's so much music. I can't get tired of it. So many well-documented live sets that it's like I can never get tired of watching this shit. It's just too cool.
Out of anyone I know, you are the person that like just flies that flag the hardest. It was like every single day it was like there's a story that you were sharing of that.
I'm super into it.
Yeah. And honestly, it's just hearing your pitch, like your unofficial pitch about it has made me been really intrigued. Like, yeah, I should go and dive into some of these. But it's cool to hear that you were like, it wasn't the music that got you first, it was the personalities and the and the people behind the music. That's very intriguing to me.
Yeah, that's always been a pretty big thing for me as far as music goes. Like it's a big that my friends give me so much shit about the rappers I pick and choose to listen to. It's the same kind of thing. Like I wanted, like when I listen to my favorite rappers, Project Pat, because I know this dude's crazy. The dudes in 3-6 Mafia, they're all legitimately crazy. I like the authentic, they're talking about shit they do, and I like the craziness. I don't know, man. I don't like the soft rock and roll people of just, like the Coldplay dudes and all of that are just like, they show up, they behave well. And it's the same thing with hardcore. I don't like the people that just show up and behave well and sit in the corner, play their set, and then go home. I like the dudes that have a fun, I like the dudes like Harrison that show up and cause a fucking scene every night. And it's like, they're there. I like that kind of shit. I like making your mark as opposed to just like, I'm going to be nice,
Yeah.
play my gig, do what I'm supposed to. Nah. I want everybody to know Living in Fear just pulled up 3 hours late gig.
Yeah. And I think like whether you want to act an absolute but like a buffoon or a Tasmanian devil in the pit, like that's one thing. But I think I agree with you that like it's very easy to be just in the crowd and just being a part of the flow and just letting the waves take you and okay, this band's popping and whatever. It's another thing to be like, I love this shit so much that I need more and I need to be involved more. And how can I do that? What's an authentic way that I can do that I can make like put my stamp and make my mark? And for me, like, like that was like filming shows and that's how I started this whole thing. It was just, and it wasn't, again, this whole idea that it would become ginormous and become just go the distance. It was like I want to see shows that I'm playing or that I'm going to filmed in a kind of like in a more than just a GoPro kind of way. Like I want to be able to
Yeah.
do that. And then the snowball just was created from there. So, I Act Like You Know was the first fest in a long ass time that I was just playing and not also filming. So it
Mm.
allowed me to be like get a little reckless and redonkulous when it called for it. But like yeah, I think it's very important to not just let a set fly by, like succumb to the energy, like get into it, like um like giving into that. I think is like there's so many sets I think early in the day that I would be like, oh, I'm gonna go stage dive or I'm gonna go down there, and then it would be like this, like this is your last chance, and I would like still not do anything, and I would almost like have this self like, did I just like why am I hesitating? Why am I not doing this? But every single time I would like give into that and would get crazy, it's like almost makes the memory and the experience way better.
Dude, that's the thing, man. I think that's the big thing for me is just like you can let these things slip by and just be a bystander. And you'll probably have some fun and you'll have some memories, but like I'd rather make the memories as memorable as they can be.
Right.
And sometimes forgetting the whole night is the biggest memory for me. So you know what I mean? Like sometimes those are the funnest nights, man. Like the nights in Springfield, Missouri. I get blackout drunk every fucking time I'm in that city.
Right.
But that's my favorite gig every time we fucking play a run. It's always Springfield. And it's just like, man, if I'm gonna have fun and I'm gonna make all of this worth it, I'm gonna do it the right way. I'm not just gonna fucking behave. I don't have any fun doing that. I don't have any fun just standing there doing the thing.
Right.
I'd rather fucking make it memorable by doing it right. What's going on, man? Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I totally agree. And I hope that other people listening feel that drive to not let things just like to not just exist in this space, like to actually get involved, to actually like do dope shit. So Curt,
Yeah,
I think make a mark. That's the slogan or the tagline for this episode. Dude, really excited to chat with you. Always great to see you. As you know, the last section of this show, you have to share a Mosh related story. So that's anything that's first to your head. I'm blanking on exactly what you shared on the last time you're on here. So I hope that we don't have any do-overs.
Yeah, I can't remember. Damn. Like my favorite Mosh story is old, so I'm afraid it's the same Mosh story, but I don't think it is. I can't remember. And I'm not even involved in it because I haven't been moshing in a while. Like I'll mosh every now and then when I get a little too, I've had a little too much and the right bands in town. But is my shit, can you hear me? Is my shit fucking up again?
Yeah, I can hear you. You hear me?
Okay, cool. So I think, yeah, I can hear you. I think my favorite Mosh story is going to be there was a gig at the bakery. I don't remember the full gig. I think Fury played, but Distort was the band that it went down at. And it was within, like you mentioned, sometimes it's not even the guitar riff, it's the feedback.
Right.
The initial feedback of the Distort set, and Distort fucking rips every time that band I've seen that band play in Atlanta twice. The first time they did a world peace cover, and I think the singer like cracked his skull open during it. He took a spill off the fucking stage.
Yeah.
But the second time we saw my homie Luke, the dude, I have his name tattooed on me. I lived with him forever. He's like one of my best friends of all time. He fucking got so obliterated the second their feedback kicked in. Didn't hear a single note the band played. Feedback, mosh pit starts. Luke takes like a Doc Martin to the temple or something, drops him. He is down and out for the rest of the night, dude. Like I didn't know anything was going on, but he was apparently unconscious for like 6 minutes, like a very long time to be unconscious for.
Sure.
They were like, we may need to take him to the fucking hospital. And somebody comes and finds me after their set and is like, hey, you got to come see Luke, man. Like you got to come make sure Luke's okay.
We lost Curt or frozen. Wait for it to come back. Just a woo face. Jordan, he's frozen for you too. Oh,
Whoa, the whole shit just closed. Are you still there?
yes, I'm here now.
Okay.
Okay, you
How much of that Mosh story?
you dropped off after yo, you have to come see your homie.
Yeah. So they were like, you have to come see your homie and make sure he's okay. So I went and saw him, and I can't remember the whole night because now it's been like 4 or 5 years that gig has happened. I think maybe 4 years ago. But good Lord, man, I've never seen a dude get so obliterated during feedback. And I was like, that has got to be an outstanding moment for me. I think I bought their record that night. I was like, okay, I'm going to buy this Distort record because that was there was so much crazy shit going on throughout that set.
Yeah.
And that band is just mosh fuel. I wish that band still fucking was hitting it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, any band that has a Z instead of an S in their band name is always.
Yeah. Perfect. It's going to be good.
Yes.
It'll be a great music.
Yes. So Curt, like we talked about, new record, Fuck You Music for Living in Fear, out on Edgewood Records as of this Friday, as far as the initial drop of this release, February 3rd. Streaming everything out at that time. That will be in the, I'll put all the basic stuff to get to that because this is coming out a few days prior. But if there's anything else that you want to shout out, anything you want to plug, or anything you want to send the people off with before we wrap up.
God damn, my fucking internet freezing up.
Yeah,
dog.
Let's not shout out your internet because it's been fucking up this interview a lot.
Yeah, 0 fucking shout out to my internet. I don't know. If I had to give shout outs, it'd be fucking End It. It'd be Life of Pain, Deal With It, Strangle You. Those would be my shout outs. As far as plugging shit, I don't know, man. That new record, that's the only thing for me to plug.
Mm-hmm. Well,
but yeah, I mean, shout out. There's another band, Shades of War from Florida, coming out soon. That's a band to look out for. But other than that, man, I like to keep it tight, with my shout outs.
Yeah, no, I think that's a smart move. And I'll be on the look. Shades of War is a dope ass band name, so I'm into
Minefield Part 2, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Friends of the pod.
Exactly.
Back for a new one. Band. That's cool. But yeah, Curt, like I'm really happy to have you on, not only because I love you as a creative and as a musician, but like I really love how our paths cross and how they've been able to stay connected and been able to just do some dope shit with you. And I know that we'll probably do some more dope shit in the future. But you're the man. Love all my friends at Atlanta who are listening to this, and dude, thank you again for coming on the pod again.
Of course, man. Round 2 was awesome. Love you to death, dude.
Of course.